Whew, I don't have a mic on. Hey, so we're live. Forgot my mic. So anyway, gonna try to get that on, but I've also got a chicken here. So here, excuse us for a second. We got a technical difficulties. All right, so good morning. So this morning we're going to talk about frostbite on your chickens and what you can do for it and how to prevent it. So this is Clyde. He is a black copper Moran. I hatched him from an egg. They were mail order eggs from Meyer Hatchery, and he is about 2 years old now. And he's a pretty boy. If you can see, black copper Morans have feathers on their feet, and that's just kind of a trait of the kind that they are. And I'm breathing hard, and I'm sorry, but I had to go catch him. But if you can see the top of his comb, it's black. So that means that Clyde has gotten some frostbite on his comb. So I really should have done a better job of preventing that, but now that it's done, I noticed it yesterday. There's really nothing I can do except just put some medicine on it and try to heal it. But to prevent frostbite on combs of roosters, you need to make sure that you lock them up when it's really, really cold. And also, you can put some petroleum jelly on there. I've got some here. This is actually baby petroleum jelly, but I don't think it really matters. But if you'll put petroleum jelly on their combs, before it gets real cold, it'll prevent them from having frostbite. So, we're going to kind of work on Clyde just a little bit in a minute, and he's kind of calm. He's not used to people holding him. He's not like my other rooster, Nick. I didn't pick him up and hold him when he was young, so he's kind of frightened right now.
Good morning, Joe. How you doing today?
So, yeah, bless his heart. So, he has it's really bad, y'all. One part is kind of bleeding up here at the top, and this is really almost dead here. But I do know from experience that Clyde, they can recover from that, and it will be all right eventually, but you do need to put some medicine on it and, kind of help them with that.
So does he hurt, or is it
I don't know. I'm sure it probably does. I feel really, really, really bad. And so Clyde, he don't like to get in the roosting area with the hens. He likes to hang out in the doorway. And I'm pretty sure that's what he did, and that's why, he's kind of shaking right now. Yeah. I don't know if that's because he's scared or because he's cold or what. Yeah, bless his heart. But I think he hung out in the door for a little bit, and that caused him to have the frostbite on his comb. So they can recover. Nick had frostbite on his comb, and I doctored it, and he finally got well. It was black for quite a while, but I do believe that the comb kind of regenerates itself and heals up, and I think he'll be okay. Luckily, we don't have too many more cold spells right now. But to prevent them from having the frostbite, you can put petroleum jelly on their comb, and it'll help them. So yeah, I'm sorry, Clyde. So I do have some medicine that I'm going to spray on his comb. And Scott, you may have to help me for a second.
Okay.
Here, let me talk about it first. It's poultry care. It's for skin repair and healing. It's wounds and pecking injuries, bumblefoot, non-dying, and it won't sting. And there's no antibiotics or egg withdrawal period, which we won't have that problem with Clyde because he's a rooster. But I'm going to try to just spray it on his comb or let Scott spray it, and I'm going to cover up his eyes so it doesn't get in his eyes. So we'll spray this side first. And
you ready?
yeah. Yeah, just spray it real good. Like spray some more there.
What about that eye?
I'm gonna. It's okay, but I'm gonna turn him around to make sure we got this other side. Yeah. Okay, Clyde. Yeah. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna inspect him a little bit more, make sure I don't see any other places on here. I see one spot on his wattle, but it doesn't look like, it just looks like a sore. It doesn't really look like frostbite. This down here, it's kind of brown. I don't know if you can see that. I may put some petroleum jelly on his wattle. It's not black, so I don't think it's frostbite. I think it's just like an injury or something. He's not liking this at all. So another thing that I wanted to talk about on roosters, since I have him, is how long their spurs get. Now, if you have a rooster, you can cut their spurs. You can get some pliers or some really tough dog nail clippers, and you can cut their spurs. And it'll, prevent them from hurting you or hurting the hens so bad and making sores on them. His feet look okay. I was just kind of looking at that to see how that was. He's a normal chicken. It doesn't look like he has any like bugs or anything on his feet. No mites or anything like that. Pretty healthy overall, except for his poor little comb. I'm sorry, Clyde. Yes, I know. It's okay. So, I know. All right. So I would love to know if y'all have ever had that problem with your chickens, is having frostbite on their comb. So you can let me know in the comments below. Okay, so Clyde here, you ready to go back with your hens? You want to go get put back up? People quit messing with you? Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll catch him and try to put that medicine on him at least twice a day to try to help him with the frostbite. And if it gets cold again, I will get petroleum jelly. I think I may go ahead and put some on there. Clyde. No, sir. We don't bite.
He sure is being good.
He's being pretty good. He just bit me, but that's okay. He didn't bite hard.
Well,
he's like, I don't know if this... We're just going to doctor it up here. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Yeah. It's okay.
So, Joe, have you ever had that happen on your chickens?
Yeah. I mean, I wish he wouldn't like hang out in the doorway. But, there's really nothing I can do to prevent that. And it was probably the time where it was really, the wind was blowing. And it was just really the wind chill.
He's got heat lamps.
Yeah.
That keeps his
okay.
up there.
And up there, you probably have to have that. Down here we don't have that as much. We just try to lock them up and use tarps. And now I did put I have a brooder heater that I have some babies in here in the chicken pen, and I put the brooder heater on them during that cold snap, but they were okay. But the rest of the chickens seem fine. There's no frostbite or anything. So I guess
need heat lamps in there.
Yeah. So my eyes are watering this morning. So I just try to keep them warm that way. So I'm doing good. All right, Clyde, you ready to go back? You want to go back? Yeah, and I'll give you some treats. Let's go get some treats. We'll help you with some treats. Yeah. So our Silkies are doing good this morning. Clyde's biting me again. They're running around doing their thing this morning. They've adjusted well, you know, since we put the Polish babies in there. Elvis and Ed have gotten to where they fight a little bit. So I am going to move the Elvis over to the other rooster coop in a few weeks probably. It's not real bad yet. So we'll see. All right, Clyde, come on.
Ed said his grandmother always had heat lamps.
Joe did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coop.
Yeah. And I understand where they are. They gotta have them. All right, you ready? I'm sorry. Did I abuse you? Yeah. You're okay. So y'all want some treats? Y'all want some treats? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So all this is mealworms and snack mix for the chickens. Yesterday I did cook eggs for them. I've been getting plenty of eggs from the Silkies. So I did cook eggs for them and gave them eggs yesterday afternoon. So they had plenty of eggs. I may cook them some more since I have so many this afternoon and give them a little bit more. Their egg production for them, not the Silkies, is still not good. I did get a few eggs last week, maybe about 6 or 7 from the group, but that was for a whole week. I have been feeding them the protein, like the eggs and some meat and the mealworms. Seems to be helping maybe a little bit. It's gone from a few eggs instead of just like 0. And I feel like that may be helping them a lot, just giving them some protein and stuff. It's going to warm up this week, so I'm interested to see if maybe with the combination of it being warmer and also feeding them the protein that they may, start laying more eggs. So we'll see. So they are really enjoying that. It looks like they're picking out all the mealworms, which is typical because they like the mealworms better than anything else. And I don't know about anybody else's chickens, but my chickens don't really like corn. There's a piece of corn. I don't know if y'all can see it. There's a piece of corn right there. They kind of ignore the corn if it's in their mix.
Joe said something real interesting. He said when he hatches chicks, he uses an incubator that his grandmother had before he was born.
Really?
It still works. No reason to buy a new one. That's neat.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I guess, Joe, your grandmother had chickens too and raised chickens. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. So we, when I was growing up, we never hatched chickens. We just, they were mail order. Even they're so loud. Even back then, it was mail order. You could mail order them, and I remember getting the chickens in the mail. And then, there would be some broody hens, and they would just sit on the eggs and, hatch them. So, I never had that experience growing up, but I've certainly had that experience.
She had 2 big chicken houses, probably close to 100 chickens for each one. Wow, yeah. That's really neat.
Oh, wow. She must have
You're
really...
going to be that grandmother.
I am. I'm going to be that grandmother. It's soon, in August.
Yeah.
So... if we can talk a little bit about these breeds. These 2 over here are black copper Moran hens. I did go to a hatchery and pick them up. This is an Easter egger. She's actually an olive egger. She lays an olive colored egg. The hen, I don't know if you can see her. She's over in the corner. She's a Cochin, and she has feathers on her feet just like the black copper Morans do. And she's actually, don't know if anybody else has that type of hen, but she's only laid a few eggs in her life. And she will be, I don't know, I guess she's going to be a year soon. So she really hasn't laid any eggs for me. So I don't know if that's the type of breed or just the hen that, her personality or what. But, my black copper Morans, when they do lay very dark, pretty eggs. And then my olive egg, or her egg, is a dark olive color. And they're very, very pretty. But now this is Gloria, the gray one. And she's the one that was over there with Flatfoot, our depressed rooster, who is still depressed, by the way.
He's still, and aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing some
do
stuff.
Something real quick. Soon.
Yeah, so let's give you an update on that. So I was waiting till it got warmer, and this week it is going to be warmer. So we have a rooster that free ranges. And he's actually my son's and my daughter-in-law's rooster. And he has a different chicken pen, like he's in the old chicken pen that we used to have. And he has 3 hens and the ducks that wander around with him outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch Flatfoot and the other rooster, whose name is Harold. I couldn't think of his name. And what I'm going to have to do, or if you're introducing new chickens to a flock, you kind of have to isolate them close to the other flock. It kind of keeps them from being picked on so bad, just so they can get used to them. So I'm going to take Harold, and I have to put him in the cage, and we'll go over there in a minute. I'm going to put him in a cage by himself for at least a week. But I couldn't do that when it was really cold, because he would, I don't want him to get frostbite like, Clyde did. And so he needs to stay in there for about a week. And I'm going to put him in there in the bachelor pad with the Silkies. And we're going to see, and then we're going to put Flatfoot in with the other hens. So what we're going to do on that end is we're actually going to keep Flatfoot in there with the hens locked up for about a week. That way, Flatfoot will get used to them, and maybe he'll, when we do let him out to free range, that he'll go, to roost with them, and he'll take care of them. But I feel like he needs a hen. He's very depressed. The Silkie roosters pick on him. They just attack him when he comes down out of the roost, and it's very sad. Now, I do have food and water up there in the roosting area for him. He did escape the other day. He came over the top of the chicken pen, and we'll show y'all that in a minute. But there's just one little place up there that we didn't put a board. Yeah, it's on the other side. But up here at the top, we have some plastic stuff that we put in there as insulation. But he kind of came up over the top of that on the other side, and he was wandering around. So, I know he needs something. Feel really, really sorry for him, and he's just so depressed and being picked on. Now, what I hope happens is that Harold is a much more aggressive rooster, and I feel like the Silkies will not pick on him quite as much as they do Flatfoot. I feel like it'll be a better situation. So, with chickens, it's like a soap opera. I mean, you have depressed roosters picking on each other, you got a hierarchy, you got a head hen, all of this kind of stuff. So, if you've never, raised chickens before or worked with them, it's very interesting just to sit and watch them, their dynamics, and the way they interact with each other. It's just amazing. So we can go over here and look at the Silkie roosters and see how they're doing for a second.
Here, can you hold the?
Yes.
Read the last one there.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't see. All mine are white. I can't see for the
White rocks.
Oh, white rocks. Another thing my grandma had done, so I figured it was good reason.
Yeah.
That is a good reason. you know, we tend to do what
we need to do it. They had it down pat. So
yeah,
we need
they
to,
did.
remember, they knew what they were doing.
All right. All right. What have y'all done to your little roosting thing here? So they have a thing. We need to put them some perches in here. But the thing about Silkie roosters is they are hens. They don't like to perch like other chickens do. And I don't know if that's just because they're shorter, smaller. I don't know what the deal is with that. So I would love to know if you have any, you know, how your Silkie roosters act. If they actually perch, you know, at night. They just kind of lay down on the pine shavings and sleep there. So, you know, in a way, I guess that's good. It kind of keeps them warmer. But, yeah. There you go. It's so funny, y'all. I know you can hear them. So, you know, roosters naturally call the hens to come eat. And even though they don't have any hens in here, they are like, it's like they're calling them to come eat. So I find that so funny that they're doing that, but they don't have any hens over here with them to, you know, like come eat. That is so hilarious to me. I know. Yeah, well,
Have somebody looking through the little.
I'm gonna give y'all some. You just hang on. You know, I need to tag these and name them. I mean, I can tell the difference some in them, but some I can't. The two black ones that are kind of smaller, I can't tell the difference in them, but I do need to name them. I like to name my chickens. I know a lot of people don't, but you know, they all have a personality. I feel like they need a name, so I really need to give them a name. Yeah. And we'll go around in a minute and we'll look at Flatfoot and see if he wants some mealworms too. I gave him some eggs yesterday, Flatfoot, that's up in the roost, and he really seemed to love that. So they're eating this away. Enjoying it. My nose is running. It's cold out here. What temperature was it?
36.
Was it 36? Okay. But it is supposed to be warm. It's supposed to get up, well, not warm, but in the 50s today. I wanted to show y'all something. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but this board was here. And I imagine that this grass that's growing up under it is the seeds that I've given them, and it got up under the board and then it sprouted. So once they find that, they should eat it and enjoy it. Now in the summertime, I do try to give them some green stuff. They love clovers, and actually the clovers here, they grow even, you know, on into the winter until it gets really, really, you know, freezing for a few days. So I try to give them clovers. They all seem to love the clovers. So let's go over here to the Silkies and we'll give them some treats and talk to them for a little bit. I can get out of the door. Alright. Yep, back up. Back up. Watch it. So.
These aren't scared, are they?
No, they're not. They are not scared a bit. They're wanting some treats. Okay. Let's see. So this is Ed right here, and I think last week he's pretty dirty. He's gotten a little bit cleaner now. Somebody poo-pooed on him, but he seems to be cleaned up a little bit now. And this is Elvis. He is a Polish rooster, and if you can notice, his feathers are kind of more feathery than the hens are. These are the hens. So that's just the difference between those, if you're trying to tell the difference. Now, I couldn't tell the difference. There's a way that you can look at their wings and kind of tell the difference when they're little. But the Polish ones, I really, really couldn't tell the difference until they got older. And this one here started getting wattles and growing, you know, a comb. And I realized he was a rooster. Now they're maybe about almost 4 months old now. So they're doing good. And that's a good boy, Ed. You tell them. So they'll probably start laying eggs in another couple of months or so. I noticed with the Silkies, they started laying eggs pretty soon, like sooner than the other chickens do. So, you know, I've been enjoyed, you know, kind of watching these Silkies, and never had them before. And, you know, they're just so enjoyable to me, just their personality and the way they act and everything that they do. You know, it just makes me happy to see them wander around. And, you know, talking about personality, Ed, he has, like, this wonderful personality. He is just, well, he's kind of crazy. He just, sometimes he'll, like, wander around and just run into stuff. Like he can't see right. Now, he did have wry neck, and I think we've kind of cured him from that. I think it helped him to get away from, you know, the other Silkie roosters, and now he's kind of the boss. Him and Elvis, you know, they fight a little bit, but they seem to be okay. See, they're side by side right now, and they're eating just fine, doing good. They, yeah, and I may leave Elvis in here. I don't know. We'll just have to see how that goes as he gets older, and, you know, I don't see them fighting a whole lot. And, you know, Silkies are just not, I mean, they're aggressive, but not as aggressive as, you know, a bigger rooster or a different breed would be. So, you know, they're doing good. Is that good? That's good. Yeah. Now, I did get in here yesterday, and I filled all of their water up. I had kept it at, their water was at a lower level, because when I was having to unfreeze it, I was having to pour hot water in there, and the water would, you know, build up over those days when it was freezing. So, yesterday, it's going to be warm this week. I came in here, I filled their water all the way up, so they could, you know, have something to drink, you know, in the hot weather. And I'm sure, you know, it goes faster when it's warmer outside. You know, they need more water. So, you're doing really good. So, look, see this, they just like to be up next to you, the Polish hens do. Like, they'll come right up to you, and it's like they're talking to you or something. Now, they don't like you to pick them up, but, which I don't think any chicken does unless you've picked it up its whole life. And they'll just walk up to you, and it's like they want to be next to you or something. Very curious. See this one over here? He's like pecking my boot. What are you doing? Yeah. And again, they're picking over the other stuff and picking all the mealworms out. But they'll eat the other stuff too eventually. Ed is so hilarious when he crows. It's like, I don't know, he makes this face and does things when he's crowing. He's just, I don't know. Kind of puts his head down and, you know.
He's dramatic.
He is dramatic. He's just very dramatic. He's a sweet boy.
He was bullied next door. But
he was bullied next door. We tried to put him in with the other, you know, when I moved him, I put him in there with them, and he just got attacked and bullied over there. So we just decided he would be the rooster of this little clan over here.
And he takes his job serious.
He does take his job serious. He is, Yeah, right now he's crowing. He's talking to us. He's trying to tell us something.
So, Joe, I got a question. Your grandmother had those chickens. Did they raise them for
For
I know
meat.
they for meat, like to sell for meat, or to sell for eggs, or what did? For your grandmother's, what were?
So while we're waiting for Joe to answer that, if you'll notice I don't know if you can tell or not. I don't want to catch Ed and upset him, but if you don't know, Silky roosters, their skin is a black color. It's not like the other chickens. Their skin is like a pink color. So I don't know if it's China or Japan, they actually eat the Silky roosters. They think that, or Silky chickens, they think that it's good luck to eat a Silky rooster. And they think that the black meat has medical, that it helps you, be well or something. And I think, over there they eat them, for meat. Over here we don't eat the Silkies like they do over there.
Joe said they sold the eggs, kept the chickens on a good rotation, so they never had to buy chickens.
That's awesome.
But they didn't sell meat.
Okay. So, we'll go over here and see about Flatfoot and see if we can feed him some mealworms and some treats. Okay. So, Elvis, you're in the way.
Hard to get out of here.
Elvis, move. Okay.
You're going to have to help me out.
Yeah, I am going to have to help you out.
Elvis will leave the building.
Yeah, he will. All right. Well, let's go over here and look at Flatfoot a little bit. See how he's doing. Ow.
And if you're just joining us, this is our rooster.
That's depressed.
If you haven't
you done knocked your food down. Where is it?
He's talking to somebody over there.
Yeah, he is talking to somebody over there. I think that's Gloria. I think that's his ex-hen. His ex-wife.
They're going to get back together.
Where is the food? It's missing. He has a food bowl. It must be buried. I'll have to unbury it. What did you do to your food bowl, buddy? Bless his heart. Yeah. We're going to give you some new hens, okay? You want some mealworms? See if I can. Can you see them in there? There you go. Here, let's see.
What?
I was just trying to get him eating. So he's eating that. So he does have water in here, and he had food yesterday. I don't know where the food bowl has gone or what exactly happened to it, but I think it's buried. So I'll have to unbury it. But he seems to be really enjoying that. Is that Gloria? I think that may be Gloria. Or is that the other chicken? I can't tell in the dark which chicken that is. Flatfoot is an Americana rooster, and I did hatch him from an egg, from a mail order egg.
And he's one of the least aggressive.
He is one of the least aggressive. He, if I was to catch him and hold him, how Clyde was biting me a while ago, he won't do that. He's very... Now, I did hold him some when he was small, like I did Nick. Nick's not aggressive either. Nick will let me hold him, and he won't, peck me or anything. So, if you hold them when they're little and kind of talk to them, they'll grow up a little bit less aggressive.
Probably depending on the breed,
It is depending on the breed. But, they'll be a little less aggressive. No, I just find that this, the Americana rooster here, he's a sweet, sweet boy. And it has a lot to do with their personality. They have different personalities, and some are more aggressive than others. I don't know if it's so much the breed. you know. I think it has a lot to do with you talking to them and holding them when they're little too, regardless of whatever breed that they may be.
I'm sure there's some breeds.
You want some more, Bud? Yeah, I'm sure there are. You know, in other countries, they have those fighting roosters. Like, they put in the... And I think that's just... Why do that? You know, it's the same as people that have
in this country, too, illegally.
Yeah, they do illegally. But you're not supposed to have those fighting rings where you have the, you know, the fighting roosters. It's just... I mean, why? Why do that? You know, it's the same as, you know, have those dog rings, too, where they have the fighting dogs. That's just so cruel to me. You know, they get all cut up, and especially the dogs, they die from that. So, I don't understand why anybody would want to raise fighting roosters, you know, to watch them fight. That's just not a sport that I would enjoy. Here's the ducks. They're out and about. I'm going to close this. Let's see if they'll eat some. You can't get close to them. They'll run away.
Will they eat your meal?
Yeah, let me see if I'll get them to eat some.
These folks party all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of chicken and dumplings at Grandma's house growing up.
Now, let me ask you this, Joe. Did your grandma, when she harvested your chickens for meat, did you do it the old-fashioned way, or how did she do it? Like, I know when I grew up, they
most of the people back then didn't use the
no, they didn't. Yeah, my grandpa tied.
I don't know if you can say it on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't either, but it was. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, that's far.
I mean, he would take the chicken and put its head on a block and tie its feet together just so it couldn't get away.
So would the chicken really run around after that?
It would, y'all. It would run around with its head cut off for a good... I mean, it was pretty graphic. Now, as kids, me and my sister would laugh about that.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry. He said without going into many details involved clothesline and butcher knife.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we would laugh about it because I mean that's kind of awful to think about, but we would.
Hey, in the 70s and 80s, we were different then.
We were different. We would die laughing about the poor little chicken, you know, running around, spurting blood everywhere. So here's a Nick's pen. Let's look in here and see if there's any eggs. They've been doing good. Have
they been doing better?
They have been doing better, but I don't know if I got them yesterday. I did a number on them. No eggs this morning. I got them yesterday, and it is.
So, do you think the protein has helped?
I do think it's helped. I mean, they're not laying like they were.
Well, now it is real cold.
It is real cold, and like I said, I'm very interested to see if. And they actually laid in the nesting box.
These are her little.
They're cheap.
Cartoon next door nesting.
They're plastic nesting boxes, but I bought them really nice nesting boxes, like expensive things, and they wouldn't lay eggs in them. So I thought, well, let me try these.
It's a good thing I didn't build any fancy ones.
I know. I said, let me just try these cheap things. So I tried that, and you know, these chickens will lay in at some. They usually lay. I don't know if you can see, but they usually lay over here in the corner too. I had this over here in the corner, and they didn't lay there. They laid here. So I moved it over here in the hopes that they would actually lay in the nesting box like they're supposed to. So, you know, they did. They laid eggs in there yesterday. So we'll look in here too, just make sure there's not any laying around anywhere. This door sticks.
We need to shave the door a little bit.
No, there's plenty of poo-poo, but no eggs.
Cleaning time in there.
Yeah, gotta clean that. I'll spot clean it. All right, so let's go over here. I don't know if the camera goes out or Ian will get out, but we're going in here to feed Nick and them because they hadn't had their treat yet this morning. Silkie. Alright. Here we go.
Yeah, you almost forgot them.
I didn't forget them. Now, Nick is, we talk about Nick, but Nick's a mixed breed. I hatched him like they were just backyard chickens. I don't know what breed he's mixed from. So, he is mixed, but he's a beautiful rooster, Just pretty colors. It's white and brown and just beautiful. And I'll get him in a minute, and I just want to show you the difference in his comb compared to Clyde's that we looked at earlier. To show you, what it's supposed to look like where there's no, and like I said, I wanted to show you too also how his recovered and got much better, after it was frostbite, a couple of years ago. Now hens, their combs can get frostbitten too if they have tall combs, but it's because the rooster's combs go up so high that they have a more tendency to get that frostbite than the hens do. Yeah. We'll give you some more. Yeah, y'all want the mealworms anyway. Let's see if we can catch Sweet Pea. Yeah, you're okay. There's Sweet Pea.
She's our tech geek.
Yeah, she is our tech geek. So, her comb looks pretty good. There's no spots, no really anything on her wattle. She's got a little sore or something up there, but it's not bad. Yeah, that was your sweet. Yes, you're my sweet girl. Yes, yeah. She is a sweet girl. That's why she's named Sweet Pea. All right, you want some more food? Nothing bothers her. She just will let you do most anything to her. Let me see if I can catch Nick. Nick, can I pick you up this morning, buddy? Yeah.
He says I'm eating.
Alright, so Nick's wattle, his comb, not his wattle. We'll look at his wattle too. I'm gonna put you down in just a minute. Their wattles can get some little brown and stuff on them. Just from, I guess, just naturally get little. It's okay. I'm gonna let you down in just a second. I want to look at your comb. Okay. So his comb is not black, and it doesn't have, those places on it like Clyde's did. On this side, he does have a little spot where it looks like it maybe was a sore, but it's kind of healed up. It's not bad. Think he's doing okay. But he doesn't have that frostbite like Clyde did.
Yeah, Joe said his grandmother, again, he used the nested boxes she had. Their old metal boxes
that is so cool.
hung on the wall. I wish we had some of the old chicken coop your grandfather had.
Yeah.
That would be neat to use.
Yeah, he built everything.
Yeah.
So.
We had to kind of start from scratch.
Now, he had something interesting on his nesting boxes. He had it was a sloped roosting place for them to sleep at night, and he had tin and stuff around it, and he had in the middle of the chicken pen, it was an open yard, he had built their nesting boxes, but they just stood up in the middle of the yard
Yeah, he didn't have anything like this, a place for them to go in.
No, he didn't. He just had a place for them to roost, and where they laid their eggs was just in the middle of the pen. It was just kind of built up high, and they went up a ladder and went up there, and they laid their eggs in there. And I think the reason that he built it that way was to kind of keep snakes out of it. So the snakes couldn't get in there because it, kind of deterred them from, going up a ladder or whatever to get to the eggs. But, I remember several times he would have those, I think it was like 4 maybe nesting boxes, but it was just up high. It had a ladder, and it was just a...
Don't we have the old ladder? Is that the old ladder? It's one made of little old trees.
May be the old... Yeah, we may have that old ladder.
We need to get that out and put it in here.
Yeah, it was something that I've... as much as I've researched and look at chickens, he did it different. He didn't do it anything like, that you've seen or read about, or
he did it the old school
He did it-
backwoods Mississippi style.
He did. And, you know, I don't know what made him just put the nesting boxes in the middle of the chicken yard. You know, to me, it kind of needed to be up under something.
So
you know,
they didn't have anywhere to get into like
not
this?
really. It was just it was a sloped, and then it just had tin around it
Yeah.
to get up on. And, you know, back then, you know, they were backyard chickens. I guess he didn't worry about them as much as I do. You know, about them getting frostbite and, you know, that kind of stuff. To him, they were for eggs and for eating, and he didn't pamper them like I do. So
No,
he didn't.
they were not pets.
No, they were not pets. They were my pets growing up. I loved chickens. I would, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I had a chicken, and my eyes are watering. Had a chicken, and her name was Henny Penny. She got real sick, and as a baby, and we put her in the house, and my mama fed her grits. She fed her grits, and it was like she had asthma. She would wheeze all the time. And we would pet her and talk to her and pick her up, and she thought that she was like a dog or something. She would get in the swing with us and swing in the swing like just a backyard swing. She would get in the swing, like she would actually jump up on the swing with us and sit beside us. Hey, where'd you come from? She would sit beside us, and she would let me pick her up. She'd let me do all kinds of stuff, just carry her around or whatever. But I really think having her made me really, you know, as a child, really, really want to, you know, have chickens as an adult. But she was a pet, and, you know, I don't know how long she lived or anything like that. I was little. I just know that I loved that chicken. To me, she was like a dog or something. I really, really, really loved her. So, oh, there comes Bam. Bam, you want to come in? Come on, buddy.
Will he come in?
Yeah, he'll come in. Bam, come on.
Bam the barn cat.
Did you? Okay.
Well,
Bam.
we say barn cat. He's the barn cat
That goes inside.
Yeah, goes inside.
Come on, buddy.
We don't leave
You
him
want
out
to come
at
see the
night.
chickens? Come on, buddy. You can come in. He loves chickens. All right, come on. It's okay. It's your buddy. Yeah. All right, come on. You know, a lot of people have dogs that hang out with chickens, but our cat kind of hangs out with them. Now, what he usually does is if I'm cleaning or something, he wants to get up in the roosting area and check it out and make sure I cleaned it correctly. He is a rescue animal, and our daughter rescued him actually from a parking lot by the bookstore where she used to work. And he's just the sweetest boy.
We
All
weren't looking for any new cats.
No,
we
we wasn't. Yeah, okay, you want
He
back
came
out?
up here. I mean, he came to the parking lot. We brought him up here.
Yeah, so the other day I was doing something in here, and he just went up the ramp and went in there, looked around, walked back down, came over, laid down, and the chickens, you know, they don't try to do anything to him either. They don't care.
They're not scared.
No, they're not scared of him, especially this group. Now, because, you know, he used to go in the chicken pen all the time with this group, and this group was in the old chicken pen.
Joe said his Jack Russell will hang out with them, but
Oh.
the German Shepherd's a different story.
Oh, does the German
It
Shepherd
would
try to-
rather eat the
Yeah.
chickens.
Yeah, and Bam never, like, tries to catch them or...
Does Kelly's dog? She don't try to eat them, does she?
She doesn't, but I wouldn't leave her, like, I wouldn't let her in like I let Bam in without, you know, making sure. I think she might chase them if she tried to, but she does listen. You know, we tell her no, and she, you know, she won't do it. Yesterday I did catch her chasing the ducks. So
Well, she's probably just having fun.
She was having a good time, but she was.
I don't think she would eat them, do
I don't think she would eat them or try to catch them or anything like that. You know, I wouldn't like put her in the chicken pen and leave her alone with them. It's no telling. But as far as just, you know, chasing them and being ugly for fun, I don't think
she would probably get beat up in here.
She probably would.
She's not really a dog that likes to defend herself.
Yeah, she's a weenie dog. But yeah, she did chase the ducks yesterday. I don't know if y'all can see, but the ducks are over here digging by the chicken pen. I don't know where the other chickens are, the other free-range chickens. I guess they are not up yet. But I hope they're getting up there. Look, they're going up there. Y'all go lay me some eggs. Yeah. Now, I know, actually, those 3 right there are the ones that lay most of the eggs. This is an Easter egger, and there's a hen over here that's black in the background. She's an Americana hen too, and I hatched her from an egg also. Yeah. Okay, y'all. Well, I need to put y'all some more dusting stuff in there, don't I? Yeah. Need some dusting stuff. Okay, so I guess that's all. We're gonna get off of here and let y'all go.
We need to go up there so we can wrap it up.
Yeah, we do.
I have to go inside to stop the stream.
Yeah, I forgot you had to do that. So.
But I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Joe, thanks for spending your time with us.
We left this open, y'all.
Good thing we came around here.
He's still in there. Okay.
Joe said, here, you can take the phone, read, and we'll leave it on you.
Okay.
So. And you can.
I just want to go over, like.
Read that last comment.
Okay.
Okay.
So Joe said he's been thinking about getting some ducks. He's read that they lay eggs about as good as chickens do, and I'm sure they do. They do lay eggs, but the problem is that they're messy. So if you get ducks, you need somewhere, like, you know, Joe, you said you were going to build that pond. You need somewhere, you know, where they can go and get messy. And, you know, if you put them in with the chickens, they're going to make a huge mess with the chickens. So just know that. But anyway, I hope that y'all have a good day. I hope you enjoyed being with us. And I hope you learned a lot today. Thank you for watching. Hey!
We'll close out to the dog there.
Yeah, so. she's been in the house a lot.
All right, we hope to see y'all tomorrow morning. Y'all have a great Saturday.